hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. And guess what I didn't fix today? I didn't fix our chat box. It's still broken here on the screen, but don't worry because your live chat will happen as recorded on the side of the video on YouTube. But welcome everybody to the Wednesday edition of the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. And I can't tell you how much it means to me that you're here with us. It's been a busy afternoon, evening here in the portal zone. I don't know, the portal, the realm of the portal. I don't know what the hell to call it, but I've been busy all day, just flying busy. But a lot of good things happening. Just got to let you know, though, I'm not here alone. I got my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard, right next to me here. Hi, Don.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi.
How are you?
I'm concentrating on smudging. What is wrong with... Hello. Oh, there it is. Hi.
Nothing's wrong, Don.
Awesome.
It's all in your head.
Yeah, unfortunately it is.
It's all in your head, Don.
The voices, they're telling me something. They're telling me, pay attention.
After every meal.
Floss after every meal.
I don't know if that's what your voices say, but that's what mine say.
That's good. Mine can say a whole lot more than that.
But they can. Well, welcome to the show, brother. It's good to see you.
Hey, how did you break the chat box anyhow?
I don't know. I think it must be some kind of update that happened
that's
either on YouTube's end or on OBS's end, one of the two.
Okay.
But it has skewed the function of the chat box. So, and generally we don't end up using it anyway because I really don't edit these videos unless something really stupid happens. More than just the usual stupid. So.
Deb just offered to, she says, Don, I can tell you what the spirits say. I'm like, I don't know if I want to know.
Speaking of Deb, ladies and gentlemen, Deb's going to be on Friday's show doing live readings here on the Paranormal Portal.
Nice.
And so mark your calendar, Friday evening, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on YouTube, as well as streaming live on tfrlive.com, which is also streamed live on iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live. Deb will be joining us and doing readings to callers of the show. So mark the calendar, mark the phone number. It's 720-923-0500, and you too could get an amazing reading by our amazing Deborah Varner. So that'll be Friday night's show.
Mary, you can call as soon as the show begins.
Well, you can call before the show begins if I have the phones open.
And it's a network show, so it's very limited time.
I usually open the phone lines about 10 minutes prior to the show. So on those weekend shows. So you can call in actually before. We've had people waiting. I mean, Deb and I will be talking. I'll be like, Deb, there's already people in the queue. She's like, what?
I just got introduced.
Yeah, not even. It wouldn't even launch the show, and there's people waiting already.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
People line up for that. It's really been a great experience, and of course, Deb does a marvelous job. So,
right.
But also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not into getting a public reading, like it kind of freaks you out to talk about it live on the air, you can certainly contact Deb for private readings. She does them on her time, of course. But you can follow her group on Facebook, and it's Purple Mystic Readings by Deb. Mm-hmm. And you can get in touch with her that way and schedule a reading of your own, or you can email her at purplemysticreader@gmail.com.
There you go.
So those are two ways to get a hold of Deb and have a private reading in case you're not interested in doing it publicly. And she'll schedule a reading with you. And again, I have to reiterate this every time, but Deb doesn't charge a lot. She actually charges a pittance for the readings. It's really, really affordable and accessible to pretty much everybody. I mean, you could save up aluminum cans for a week and basically pay for a reading. She's just so reasonable about it. It's not like she's taken advantage of this. She has a hard time
She has a hard
taking
time
anything
asking
for it.
anything,
Yeah.
but she
Yeah.
really does. You know, and the job that she does, and the I think her accuracy is well worth the small amount that she does ask for.
She also does gift certificates, guys. So if you want to give a gift to somebody that you know is kind of having a hard time and could maybe use a look into what's going on in their lives, buy a gift certificate for a reading for them and help them get, maybe get their things sorted out. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's some gifts in life that are really just worth it. And I know Deb's read me before. She's done readings for me, and I'm here to tell you that I brought her on the show initially as an idea.
And she grew into a force of her own.
Well, she already was a force of her own. I mean, because honestly, I didn't know Deb real well, but I knew she was a psychic, and she and I had been talking for a while on this ghost group, and it just occurred to me, have her on the show. So I did, and looking back, it's been a pleasant inspiration because she's brought so much to the show. So, and I don't mean to spend a bunch of time talking about this tonight, but I just, there's some parts of this show that are just so damn serendipitous and hard to believe that everything came together. And Deb is certainly one of those that has really brought something amazing to our show. So I definitely want to support her in any way I can because she does this of her own goodness of her own heart. So, certainly it's my way to give back to her for bringing something so cool to the show. So, but anyway, Don, everything good?
All is good. All is good. What's going on this week? Nothing.
Well,
it's been really
I'll tell you what's
quiet.
going on, Don.
Oh, what's going on?
We're going in. Don, we're in.
We're in. Now we're here. We're here.
Now we're in. Now what's going on, Don?
Oh, not much.
Okay.
Don't really know.
I just realized I hadn't done the intro video yet. I've been yapping so long.
Well, that's okay.
Sometimes I get these feedback on our
No.
videos.
No.
When are you gonna get to the damn point? Jeez, sitting there yapping for 15 minutes.
Hard damn show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I wasting your YouTube time? Is your YouTube time so important? Come on, I got other videos to watch. Come on, guys. Come on.
guys. Let's get a cheesy poof.
Nah, Kenny, that's my papa. So, I mean, some people are just indignant about the fact that you might have a conversation. So,
God forbid.
I always, I always just tell them, well, thank you. And if your time is so precious, don't waste it here. Go find a
waste it
show
here,
that gets right to the
You are
point.
definitely wasting your time. What you got there, Brent? Another Coca-Cola?
I do. I
Gosh.
splurged on a Coke today because I'm just I'm wound out. I mean, in a good way. It's been a good day.
Been busy. Yeah,
Very
running
productive.
above, yeah.
But I just thought I'd look and see how many people are here, Don.
42 watching right now, but oddly enough, we literally only have half of that in likes.
Oh well, maybe they don't like it yet. They just got here.
I don't care.
Well, it should be.
Strike the like on your way in.
Strike the like. Ooh, Don. That was kind of pretty.
I stole that from Weird Desk. So.
Oh, okay. Well played, Weird Desk. So let's take a look at who is here, huh, Don?
Yeah, absolutely. I got the list right here.
By all means.
All right. We've got Beth, our friend Beth. Bigfoot in Germany. Hey, Big Rob. That is at 300,080. Blue Idaho. How are you? Cha-Cha Deb, of course.
Cha-cha.
Got Big Red, DJ Big Red, Donnie C. Donnie C's down in California. He's part of that blackout, that blackout they're planning. So that kind of sucks. I wonder if Cha-Cha's going to have that issue too.
Oh, is there a black?
Oh yeah, well no, yeah, their PG&E is turning off the power for like 3 days.
What?
And it's like affecting like 90% of California.
That's what I've seen people
Yeah.
mention PG&E, but I had no idea what that was.
Crazy.
It's their energy companies.
Yeah,
just
their power company, Power and Gas.
Why?
They're just shutting it off? I don't know why. I'm sure there's a fairly good reason.
We'll teach those peasants.
You don't like our prices? Live without it.
Yeah, let them eat cake. I've seen this movie, and it doesn't go well for the
go
tyrant.
well, yeah, no doubt.
It doesn't go well for the tyrant.
So that was, let's see, okay, DJ Big Red and Donnie C and Isaac. Isaac, how are you? There's our friend Cade. Cade, there you are.
Cade Moya. Hello, Cade.
Let's see, Linda Lori Lewis, of course. Mogion. See, I can say it now because now I know what it is. Mogion Monster. We got Paranormal Portal. Taz, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. The Dude. That's a new name for me.
The Dude. Welcome, The Dude.
Got Ken. Hey, Ken. Ken's one of our Australian friends, too. Cade's Australian, too.
Yeah,
awesome
they've
people
met.
down there.
Yep.
Awesome people. Let's see here. Todd Evans, Truth Hip Hop. How you doing? There's Mr. Duke, World Bigfoot Radio. Nice to see that headline some more.
Right. I like that he rebranded that.
Yeah,
Good job,
absolutely. And then, of course, me, Aether Archives.
Wow. Well, I saw Lori Babineau came in. Good to see you, Lori. Thank you.
Yep. Cameron came in.
In. Hello.
Let's see.
Donnie C. Good
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys for all being here. And there's, of course, a lot of you out there just listening, and that's fine, too. You don't have to chat, but I love our chat community.
Kate says Don's looking glorious as always.
His silky beard is just lighting up the screen.
It's just so beautiful.
It is. You're just
Here, let me
luscious.
a little more light.
There you go. Jeez, don't do that. I can go to one camera.
That's okay. I changed it back. Okay.
No,
You're always telling me how I'm always too dark. You got to lighten up.
No.
Lighten up, not stroke the beard seductively.
I didn't want you making that face into the cameras. That's frightening me.
Yeah, it frightened me when I came back and it was actually on there. So, anyhow, wow.
You just shocked yourself back to reality.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just got done recording an episode with our good friend Cade.
No way.
And
How did that go?
Oh, it went brilliantly. It was a great discussion. I'm an upcoming guest on the Believe podcast. So if you guys haven't checked it out, check out the Believe podcast. It's from out of Australia, but just a great show. He does a marvelous job interviewing people having all kinds of paranormal occurrences and experiences down there in Oz. It was a great time. I love talking to Kate. He's just a good guy. And he does a hell of a job on his show. And I'm looking forward to how people will receive that. But it was a lot of fun.
Truth Hip Hop. Now you need to buy shirts for everybody else you know.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help support the show, you could do us a big solid by checking out our website. And let me just bring it up. It's linked in the description as well. I don't like to spend a whole lot of time, running ads on our own stuff, but this this really does go a long way. Now the deal is that we are going to really be we decided, Don and I were having a business meeting basically prior to the show.
Oh, weird.
And our version of it. I don't think it's necessarily a professional production, but what's going on? It's not loading, Don.
What's not loading?
Our Teespring thing. That's the URL. There it comes. No. What the hell? I don't know. I'm hoping it's just them. It's the host. It's Teespring's having some issues. I was going to put it up on screen, but basically we've decided that we do need to start advertising the show. We've reached that point. Yeah, it's still growing and doing wonderful, and thank you to all of you who have helped so much by perpetuating that growth. But we're going to start putting ads out to let more people hopefully find the show, and I'm just looking into some possibilities there. I have to talk to our good friend Kate about that as well, because he's actually he does
in the know.
He does advertising for it. I mean, that's his bread and butter as well. So, but yeah, we think it's time to make sure more people know about the show, and maybe they'll love it, maybe they'll hate it, but at least they'll know about it. And I think that's the hardest thing for any show trying to break through, just getting into people's awareness. And not that everybody that hears about the show is going to love it. I get crap mail as well. It happens. But
love it.
But that brought up the new segment, the emails from hell, which I do every once in a while when I get them. But I just think it's time to really raise the awareness of what we're doing here. And I'm not quite bold enough as Tony Merkel and get my own billboard.
I know. What was up with that? Wow.
I know that is such a ballsy move. I just
Wow.
can't even believe that. That's awesome. Hey, Kev, good to see you, brother.
Is that Kev Baker?
That's our good buddy Kev Baker.
Hey,
Absolutely.
nice to see you, bruh.
Hey, Kev, I'm so thrilled you stopped in. Thank you so much for being here. Obviously, Kev Baker, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the premier hosts at TFRlive.com and has a amazing YouTube channel himself. Go over and check out the Kev Baker Show channel on YouTube.
We love you long time.
But he does a great job, and he actually we get to follow his Freaky Friday show on Friday nights on the network, and it's just a lot of fun. I sit here prepping and just watching and laugh, and they just it's a great group of people. I mean, it is, and they just are really do a phenomenal show. So definitely check out the Kev Baker Show, and show him some love. Show him some of that Portal love, because we loving him a long time too. All right, so let's get spooky here, shall we?
Spooky.
Let's get spooky.
Spooky with look. Never mind.
That would be spooky. Just so I'm thinking that this I got to open this up and look at it. I'm over on the hot sheets over on singular40ian.com. That's my Men in Black ripoff, but it is the hot sheets. Singular 40ian is like one of my favorite sites. They just do a great job of pointing out these really well written, quick articles on what's going on in the paranormal world, news and things that are going on, and I love this site.
Hi, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy, good to see ya. Well, we missed you too. Thanks for coming back. We're always here, by the way.
7:00 every day, Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I want to read this because this is talking about some exotic materials that are apparently, they're called metamaterials from the To the Stars Academy, which is Tom DeLonge, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
What is it, Blink 182?
182,
Yeah, a Blink 182 fame. He's now apparently a premier presence in the UFO community, and has developed this To the Stars Academy of Art and Science. And I want to read you this article because apparently he is in possession of what he claims are some of these metamaterials, or materials that are from crashed UFOs, some of the fabric or whatever. Now, I'm wondering how our good friend Don Schmidt feels about that, or what he thinks about this, but or if he has some inside scoop on that. But because Don Schmidt has written a ton of books and research on the Roswell crash, and he was a guest on our show as well. Brilliant guy. Just a phenomenal interview. But let me read this to you guys, and we'll see what's going on with these metamaterials. The results of any studies done on the metamaterials, which To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science announced were in their possession last July, are still pending, according to Luis Elizondo, another big name in the UFO community. Elizondo is a former Department of Defense intelligence officer and program head for the secret Pentagon UFO project named the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, or AATIP, who currently serves as the TTSA Director of Global Security and Special Programs. Probably a much more lucrative gig, I'm betting. We're going to do the research employing the scientific method first and foremost. What we have been trying to do is to find the most qualified individuals at the most responsible institutions to conduct scientific analysis. The scientific analysis includes physical analysis, it includes molecular and chemical analysis, and ultimately, it includes nuclear analysis, and he said in an interview with the New York Times. Elizondo confirmed in the interview that the TTSA, To the Stars Academy, was in possession of said materials, but that he could not yet comment on any findings. We have to let the process take its course, he said. And what we don't want to do is be presumptive either way. The last thing we want to do is jump to any conclusions prematurely. Ultimately, the data is going to decide what something is or what something isn't. He did, however, hint that some of the materials could have come from within our own government. Well, as far as I understand it, they were given some of these materials by a NASA source. So I don't know why he's being so secretive about that. I thought that was kind of common knowledge. When asked if the materials could have come from, where the materials could have come from, people finding them all the way to the government, Elizondo responded, sure, fill in the blanks. TTSA does not limit itself as to where it obtains material or information. In that process, we have to be very discerning, as I've said before. There's a difference between something that's truly exotic and something that fell from the alternator of a 1984 Cadillac. News of the TTSA's possession of some materials first came in July. Press release issued by the Public Benefit Corporation. The company claimed to have acquired multiple pieces of metamaterials and an archive of initial analysis and research for their controversial ADAM research project. ADAM, an acronym for Acquisition and Data Analysis of Materials, is an academic research program focused on the exploitation of exotic materials for technological innovation. The materials were purportedly owned and studied by investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe prior to being transferred to TTSA, and come from an advanced aerospace vehicle of unknown origin. That sounds really exciting, but there's more. But wait, there's more. The news follows the chain of information slowly released through TTSA and government sources since 2017, when the news broke of the Pentagon's secretive UFO project known as the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program. God, there's a lot of acronyms in this story. Which is AATIP, in case you're keeping track. A few months prior to the news of the reportedly acquired metamaterials, 5 Navy pilots told the New York Times that unidentified flying objects were on almost daily occurrence from the summer of 2014 through March 2015.
Wow.
And 2 of the pilots, Lieutenant Ryan Graves and Lieutenant Danny Acoyne, agreed to go on record about their experiences with both the New York Times and the History Channel UFO docuseries Unidentified: Inside America's UFO Investigation, a project created in tandem with TTSA. The pilot's testimony prompted several senators to request and receive private briefings on the encounters. In response to questions regarding the pilot's reports, President Trump has gone on record as saying he does not particularly believe that Navy pilots are seeing UFOs. But in that same conversation, I saw that interview. He said that he didn't particularly believe it, but then ended it with an open-ended
And
could be.
And decided to build Space Force.
Yeah, he just arbitrarily decided we need Space Force. I don't even know what that means right now. Is it just?
Yeah.
What's going on with that? I don't know why they didn't. I don't know. I don't have any knowledge of that. It's just I like the name Space Force. Sounds like a 70s kid show.
It sounds like Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, exactly. I love that movie, by the way, Galaxy Quest.
That's great.
That was a brilliant movie. Okay, so it's unclear at this time if the president's statements reflect anything other than a general disinterest in the subject. The narrative built from these accounts is not without controversy in the UFO community. Having received some pushback from researchers, that argument stems mostly from the seemingly cyclical nature of the government's public interest in UFOs and the disinformation associated therewith. So, it says John Greenwald Jr. of the Black Vault has done significant fact-checking on claims made by TTSA and its representatives, mostly recently publishing a series of statements that show the U.S. Navy never cleared for public release 3 UFO videos distributed by Elizondo and the TTSA, although the Navy did acknowledge the objects within the videos referred to respectively as FLIR 1, Gimbal, and Go Fast were unidentified aerial phenomena. Well, those are just camera terms. FLIR 1 is the type of sensor. Gimbal is what the camera's mounted on, and Go Fast is usually a term used to describe the speed of the jets, I thought. A Go Fast, but I might be wrong. But they were unidentified aerial phenomena. There you go. So what do you think, Don? Do they have these metamaterials?
I don't know. They said that the TTSA got them from Linda Moulton Howe. Is that correct?
Well, at least some of them. They
Some
said there were many sources. And I assume they must have more than one object. But it'd be kind of cool if there were some of these would possibly be from the Roswell incident, which Donald Schmidt discussed with us on the show. Yeah, I mean, the detail he went into discussing the materials and
Right.
I mean, how they could be wrinkled and crumpled up into a tight little ball, put it on on a flat surface, and it would just resume its original shape,
Right.
like
Right.
showing no creases or anything. So, to another thicker material that was nearly indestructible, but apparently something knocked it out of the sky in 1947. But whatever that was, I don't
Right.
know. It was 47, right? Was Roswell?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, look at me
There's
remembering dates.
there's actually other theories that say 1942 was actually our first contact. This was just the first major incident
Huh.
of 47. Yeah.
So I wonder what would have knocked something like that out of the sky, though. I mean,
I
I,
don't know.
I have a hard time with the belief that it was a thunderstorm.
Right,
It's like
yeah.
really they can travel through interstellar space and through any
gamma
kind of
radiation.
gamma radiation, cosmic storms. They can navigate around black holes and stuff, but somehow a thunderstorm
It just knocks them straight down.
It's like as a kid with a slingshot, took him out or something.
Exactly.
It's like, how did that happen? But
It is kind of baffling, yeah.
It is.
Do you know there's actually another conspiracy, or a theory, I shouldn't say conspiracy, a theory that says we actually landed on Mars in 1962?
No. Well, I mean, I've heard many theories about Mars, but not that one specifically.
Yeah, so there you go.
Well, where does that stem from, or what's the deal with
I
that?
have to look more into it. Maybe it's one of
62?
those. Yeah, 62.
Well, the moon landings weren't until 69.
That was admitted to.
Oh,
Right? I mean,
Okay.
they are conspiracy theories.
they are. I guess so.
Lewis says maybe they were shot down by the Federation. No, that's against the Prime Directive.
Yeah. Make it so, number one.
Make it so.
Well, there you go. That's the first story tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just some information on the idea that there may be these otherworldly materials floating around. Now, I thought Phil Schneider had a bunch of them back when he was doing his deal. He had a table full of these objects that were
artifacts,
obviously were allegedly from other worlds,
Right.
or at least were fabricated in space because they couldn't be fabricated on.
And a zero grav, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they acquired some of those materials too. I don't know. I don't know. That whole Phil Schneider thing. I think the guy was legit. I do. As out there as his story sounds, I don't know. He just came across as
the picture. I don't understand the picture he's always showing, or at least always
Val
showed
Thor.
of Val Thor. I can't figure that one out. I mean, because the person in the foreground is obviously his father,
Okay.
but I don't see Val Thor from the pictures I know of Val Thor from, say, Frank Strange's book, Stranger in the Pentagon.
Uh-huh.
So I just don't see Val
Maybe
Thor in there.
maybe Val Thor is like the Venusian equivalent to Smith.
Agent Smith.
There's just like Jones and Smith, and maybe Val Thor is the common name over there. I don't know.
No, but I mean, so but I've heard the story, and I've heard some of the things on YouTube. I never heard him speak, but I lean towards his authenticity. So
Yeah, I do too.
Very
I
much so.
think he seemed to come across very credibly to me, but I'm not an expert either. I just
right.
I have an interest in this stuff, obviously, but I've never really thoroughly researched a lot of this. And we've been getting great emails, by the way, lately, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are one of the authors of those, coming up with suggestions and stuff, thank you. Those are some great ideas that you guys are sending in for us to do on the show. Why'd you snort then?
Because it's just nothing.
Either Don is snorting or he's sleeping.
Snorting or snoring.
We've had some suggestions for show ideas.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's I got a little
I'm just
ghost
playing with
clouds
it,
in
yeah.
front of me too, from the incense. But just great ideas, and thank you guys for that contributions. I really do
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Hey, I'm Cad. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Anyone else come in?
Bigfoot in Germany.
Big is here.
Stacy, yeah. Big B, little I, big G.
in Germany.
In
All right.
Germany. Roger Davis is here. Pam is here. I don't
Jess
think I
made
said.
it. Good to see
Yeah,
you,
Jess
Jess.
is here. Yeah. There's Terrestrial Mac.
Terrestrial Mac. Well,
So,
great.
yeah.
Thank you guys for coming in. It's always a pleasure to see the doors continue to open, allowing nothing but great people in the door. I believe, anyway.
Trolls in the dungeon. Thought you should know.
Okay.
Oh, we've had 3 of those come by too.
Trolls, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we got 3 downs?
Yeah, 3 downs, yeah. Deb says, "Oh, I see the 3 Stooges came by already." I was like, "Wait, oh, those, right?"
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yes,
Well, you know,
we love you too. We
it's a-
really do.
It's a surf by thumbing.
Well, you know, even if they stop and only listen to like 5 minutes of it, it just adds to our listen time. So I'm
I know,
okay
it's
with
just funny. It's like,
Yes, it's
oh, I
just-
got to stop by there just because I hate them so much. Yeah, keep coming.
Keep bumping up our stats. We're
Keep
good.
showing
our
up.
analytics are looking great.
Yeah, there you have it. So, am I clipping it all?
No, I don't.
Maybe my headphones are too loud. Sounds like my mic is a little hot, but there we
No,
go. I guess I cranked it up a little bit for the.
Sound beautiful to me.
I'll save it for later, there, fella. All right. It's getting flaky here on the portal.
Wow.
Let's see. I got another one here, Don.
Yes.
This has to do with some light anomalies seen off the coast of North Carolina, which is Deb's land.
Yes.
North Carolina will always be referred to as Deb's land.
Deb's land.
Okay, so it says UFOs filmed off of North Carolina coast spark internet debate. It's a video. Let's get to the narrative.
There you go. Yeah,
all right.
you can do
The
that.
incident itself reportedly took place on September 18th, and Guy told local news outlets. It's a name, not a description. The person's name, the guy's name is Guy.
maybe it's pronounced Guy.
Oh, jeez. Don't do that to me. Très bien, mon ami. Told local news outlets that he is from Indiana, but he's in North Carolina as part of a group of workers sent to repair damage to the Ocracoke Islands. I don't know if that's right or not, but caused by intense flooding during Hurricane Dorian. He filmed the video while aboard a ferry crossing the Pamlico Sound from the Ocracoke Island to Swan Quarter in the mainland. According to now, I wanted to say Guy now. Yeah, I want to say
It's
Guy.
Guy.
Every time I see it now, I want to say Guy. Thanks, Don.
Thanks for clarifying. See what I did there?
Yeah.
G-H-E-E, clarified.
Yeah, according to Guy, the original video he shot was a minute and a half long, but he had to edit the video to 30 seconds in order to upload it successfully. Anybody tell me what it is, Guy asked in the video. We're in the middle of the ocean on a ferry. Nothing around. Look, nothing around. No land, no nothing. Pamlico Sound is a large body of water that separates the outer banks from the mainland of North Carolina and is not part of the Atlantic Ocean. Given Guy's testimony, the ferry would have been traveling northwest at the time of his sighting, and the objects would have appeared in the southwest. The video has been viewed over 340,000 times. Wow. Since it was uploaded on September 28th. And viewers are divided on what the mystery lights may represent. Some skeptics speculate that the lights might have been caused by floating lanterns.
Out in the middle of the ocean. Oh, it's not the ocean, right?
Yeah, well, floating lanterns, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, we just had a discussion with Cade about the insistence people have in hanging on to their paradigm and the silly things they speculate and offer as explanations. Lanterns don't glow that brightly, and I know you can't see the video, but I could show you the image. But there's no way in hell those are lanterns.
No.
They would have to be like, what is that? Magnesium flare lanterns or
Sure,
something?
yeah.
I mean, it could be like military flares, I guess. But
That's possible.
okay, so floating lanterns. The majority of skeptical opinions, however, revolved around the use of military flares. Thank you. I'm here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
You're psychic.
Or I'm a sidekick. There's a bombing range out there, and we see it regularly. There are phosphorus flares on parachute devices. Paul Blake asserted that the video's comments section, nothing to see here, moving along. It's typical YouTube. The Piney Island bombing range is approximately 18 miles southwest of the ferry's path. and would likely have been in the general direction guy was facing when shooting the video. See, yeah, that's not a good sign if that's, true. A UFO sighting off of Cape Lookout in North Carolina from November 2018 was also widely speculated to have been caused by military flares. But not everyone who watched Guy's video was convinced of that explanation. There's no relative motion with the objects. Flares move in the breeze. They fall at different rates, and if they were flares, we should see a dance of sorts in the lights as they fall. That's true. They do kind of pulsate. Mike Jagger commented, compare the images of the shapes at time of 11 seconds with the time of the images at 26 seconds in, and the shapes are in the same position at 11 as they are in 26. Someone was kind enough to link the real flares being used and falling to the earth below in the comments, and you can see the flares actually change altitude, and you can see them cross in front of each other in the wind, etc. The flares in the video behave very differently than what William Guy captured in his video, folks. Still, others were emboldened to share their own observation of the mystery lights. We saw the lights while near Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. Deline Fisher wrote, they looked just like in this video, and they did not fall. They did not move, and the entire time we watched them. They stayed stationary in a fixed place in the sky in somewhat of a formation. Lights were all on, as this video shows, and then some would go out, and it seemed 2, then maybe 4 more, etc., until they all turned off. Then 2 came back on, and then 4 on, and then 6 or 8 were on, and then all on, and then slowly worked backwards until all off again. I thought they were gone, but then I looked, and they were all on again, and I watched this repeat. I've heard the explanation of drone light exercises. That seems most plausible based on what I saw. We were driving when we saw it, and I figured it was just a military doing something. As for Guy, he appears so far not to be entirely convinced by explanations involving military flares. A lot of people I have talked to here on the island said it was flares, but they also said they've never seen anything like what I captured, he said. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Are there UFOs off the coast of North Carolina? Maybe. I don't know. These are, anytime you capture ambiguous lights in the sky, it's really hard to tell, and unfortunately, they just look like lights. So obviously people are always going to default to the most simple explanation they can, even whether it's plausible or not.
It's fake.
It's fake. I can see the strings. That used to be the biggest thing on YouTube. On YouTube, always every ghost video says, "Oh, that's fake, so fake. I can even see the string."
Great.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. One more from the Singular Fortean. And this one has to do with a pretty famous cryptid. It says, MUFON receives a report of tall creature with bright red eyes and large wings near Chicago's O'Hare Airport. So, now to me that sounds like a Mothman, Don. But, maybe it's something else. The Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, received a report early Monday from a witness who said he was sitting in his car outside of Chicago's O'Hare International Airport on October 5th at around 9:45 p.m. when he spotted a tall creature with bright red eyes and large wings. Mothman. I guess he's getting around now. According to case 103855, I was sitting in my car awaiting my next Uber Lyft call. I was parked on the side of the road near the toll booth Plaza 31, and it was a spot many drivers share. Drivers like to park to be close to O'Hare terminals, which allows us to pick up rides from the airport. And as I was sitting there, fiddling around in my car, I saw something walk out of the trees. It was a tall creature, about 6 or 7 feet tall, and kind of hunched over. It walked with sort of a giant gait, like almost to a waddle. It was completely black, and when it swiveled its head, I saw 2 bright red eyes glowing. This thing opened a pair with large wings, as wide as it was tall, and then began to flap them. It took off and headed to the south toward the large indoor driving range and the baseball park, and it was gone in a few seconds. The report was picked up by the website's UFO Stalker before being covered by UFO Clearinghouse and Phantoms and Monsters. The case appears to have since been removed from the MUFON case management system database, but the Singular Fortean Society was able to confirm with MUFON's Illinois State Director Sam Maranto that the case existed and was being pursued. Maranto said that MUFON investigator had exchanged a number of emails with the witness, but the witness is refusing to talk on the phone or meet them. He added that the investigator following up on the case knows the location really well and will be interviewing folks around the site. The demeanor of the witness seemed odd, said Maranto, since most folks are anxious to talk, to give more information or to help in any way. Meanwhile, Maranto compared his latest report with what he deemed many of the more questionable reports we receive in 2017. The MUFON state director offered to keep the Singular Fortean Society informed of any new developments on their case investigation.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, that is cool. There you go. So there's more quote-unquote Mothman sightings going on out there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that phenomenon. What is it? Is it an alien? Is it a spirit? Is it, what is it? And where are they coming from? What are they doing other than sitting on bridges and stuff and walking out of woods and flapping off? It's like, all right. So that to me is just a hard one. I don't know. What do you think of that, Tom?
The Mothman is one of those that I'm not really sure about.
Yeah.
It seems like to me a lot of the time it's a flight of fancy. Now, don't get on me about that. That's the skeptic in me. I mean, because it started out where? It started out in Ohio, right? The Ohio Mothman, and then it was in Pennsylvania for a while, and then ended up in probably New Jersey, visiting the Jersey Devil, whatever that is. And now where was this one? This was Chicago O'Hare, so
right
Illinois, yeah. So, maybe it's just that area, that it affects, but I don't know. It's
I don't know either. I thought it was Point Pleasant was the location of the Mothman and stuff, but we're seeing more and more reports all over the place, and that's the weird part about this stuff. Are people just more emboldened to talk about it now than ever before, or is there more of this stuff going on, or what the hell's going on? I don't know, and that's what's hard.
Breeding? Is it coming through like a tear in the
in the multiverse?
Yeah, in this space-time continuum,
sliding into our reality and then sliding back out. Maybe that to me seems like really the most probable, especially for things like the pterodactyl sightings and stuff.
Right.
These dinosaur birds that are just seen and then they just aren't seen anymore. And as big as those are, and again, I'm gonna default to the whole idea that if it is a pterodactyl flying around, if it's not just some kind of mechanical thing somebody made, but okay, so let's say there is a pterodactyl flying around. It's not going to care whether or not people can see it from afar.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not going to care.
It's not going to hide behind a cloud.
Yeah, it would fly into, Times Square if it, it's just looking for the needs that it has to be met. It needs to eat. It needs some place to land. And, if it feels like it's far enough away from people to be hurt, it's not going to care what they're doing down below. And it's not something that's going to, take care of its own remains if it falls or dies or whatever. Right. It's just going to fall or die wherever it falls and dies. Right. And so it's not an intelligent being, and if it is, then I have a whole different understanding of what the dinosaurs were. Because as far as I knew, it was like they got peanuts for brains, like the size of a peanut.
Right.
Is most oftentimes what they're working with. That's not a lot of hardware.
Show me what you're working with.
But I mean, they wouldn't be
they
plotting and planning and being really weird, elusive. But I don't know. People are seeing them though, and the only thing I can think is, how are they getting here then? If they're not here, we're not finding bodies. We're not seeing, big pterodactyl droppings on, in parks around the world. They must be not here all the time.
Right.
Is what I'm thinking. So they must phase in and phase out or something, and that may be a breadcrumb to show the nature of physical reality. Maybe it is in flux a lot more than we think, and it can mean time shifts and portals and wormholes or whatever. I don't know.
Gosh, figure us talking about portals.
I know. It's the paranormal portal.
We've talked with, when we were talking to Mr. Brooks Agnew about, the science of the hollow earth theory.
Oh, there you go. That's another idea.
Yeah, he was talking about how 1,500 new species of manta ray just kind of popped into existence all at the same time. And
right.
So, so there's another idea. Are they coming up from the center of the earth? Or but you could say that about Bigfoot as well.
Right.
Sasquatches and such. As a matter of fact, we've been told that Sasquatch comes from the center of the earth.
They're subterranean.
Inside the earth, I should say, Not necessarily the center of earth,
but there may be whole worlds right under our feet, ladies and gentlemen. That's and if that sounds really fantastical to you, just understand that there's actually a lot of data that would seem to suggest that there is a cavity inside of our Earth, because they have, through seismographs, deep ocean seismographs, detected waves hitting a shore underneath, like ocean waves crashing onto a shore.
Right.
And they can't explain it other than to suggest that perhaps there is an ocean in the internal part of the Earth as well. I don't know. Believe what you want, but I mean, there is, if you really look into it, there is actually data that supports that theory. Now, is it convincing? Is it conclusive? No, but it's out there, and at least it should cause people to not be so sure, or to not close the book on that possibility, because there is weird things like that happening. And what does it mean? I don't know. But this is not a new idea either. The whole idea of the societies living inside of the earth, I mean, goes back to the Hopis, right? What is funny?
Carrie from Bigfoot Odyssey is in the chat room, and I just saw this. He says, Mothman can devour an entire sweater in minutes.
I understand they hate cedar, though. Or mothballs.
Mothballs, yeah.
Yeah. We got a bunch of people with wrist rockets and mothballs hunting them.
Take that, you dirty moths.
So, God, I was going to say something about the hollow earth thing now, and
I'm sorry.
Absolutely forgotten. Your scoff threw me off, Don.
It's Carrie's fault.
It's not Carrie's fault. Carrie's just being carried on.
He's getting carried away.
He's not working right now.
He's not working. His job is just to watch us.
But yeah, that's his job. I wish more people had that job.
My computer just froze up.
Well, that'll learn you.
Yeah, apparently that's what I get for talking about Bigfoot Odyssey.
See, you didn't talk bad about Odyssey. You talked bad about our show. Like you're not here working.
That's because my computer froze up doing nothing.
Exactly. You just getting learned.
Wow, yeah, it's froze.
But anyway, that idea is out there. I'm sorry your computer froze.
No, it's all right.
Is it just
survive it
pausing, or is it?
No. All my tabs are locked.
Yeah, you're using Chrome.
Yeah,
that happens to me too. I don't know. Chrome is.
Well, I don't keep 5,000 tabs open either on 2 different screens with 3 different windows. And
what are you trying to say, Don? Huh?
Yeah, there it goes. I'm done.
Oh. Don will be back shortly, ladies and gentlemen, but his microphone will still work.
Unfortunately from him.
No, I'm glad you're here, of course.
Cancel.
I'm glad you're here, of course.
All right, let's see what happens here. Ooh, I have response.
He's live again, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
But I think there is merit to the whole idea that it's possible. It's possible there's a whole ecosystem under our feet. I don't know. But that idea's been around. The Hopi Indians were the ones talking about these Anunnaki ant people taking them underground to survive.
Right. The Hopi, yeah.
Yep.
That's where we were. Yep, that's right.
They were apparently saved from the deluge by a race known as what they called the ant people, but their word for it, I believe, is Anunnaki. And they took them underground and helped them survive that deluge. And
I have as a matter of fact, the other day, just yesterday, the day before, I posted something about the ant people from the Hopi legend.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and that's what reminded me it was the Hopi. I couldn't remember what tribe it was.
Right.
So I did actually reference that. But so there's the idea that they were brought underground to wait out this deluge on the surface. That would have otherwise wiped out the whole tribe or all the tribes, whatever that means. But, is that just a fanciful flight of spiritual meaning and not necessarily meant to be taken literally. I don't know. I think there's something to it. Now, was it they both, like the Sumerians had the name Anunnaki and the Hopi had the name Anunnaki? Is that right?
I'm actually looking the Hopi one up. Once you learn about the ant people, you can't help but compare them to the ancient Sumerian texts of the Anunnaki.
Okay.
There you go.
Right. Yep. So, I mean, the correlations there are pretty spectacular. Now, what I don't understand, Don, and I'm just throwing this out here, there was a time, it seems, in these ancient histories that whatever these advanced races are, whether they're extraterrestrial or intraterrestrial or whatever, they were for a long time very involved with these developing cultures, and they were like coaching them and helping them out.
Right.
And then for some reason they just kind of like are taking a pass now.
Yeah, it's a hard pass now.
They've kind of relegated themselves apparently to just sucking up a cow every once in a while, and unfortunately some people are abducted as well. But it seemed like they were for a long time really geared towards helping these societies grow and develop and learn and prosper, and then all of a sudden they're just not involved. So what is it about our modern age that they are not participating with the development as much, or are they? And it's a matter of government contracts or agreements or whatever. I don't know.
Well, I can't.
Again, the Eisenhower Accords.
Right.
Example.
That and something that was told to us a long time ago about how the Anunnaki violated an agreement with the Council of Nine, and how they are being kept out by the Slopsira, and who was the other one? Slopsira, not that one.
The Afim.
The Afim, yes.
Yep.
So there is that idea, that they were messing with the DNA, and that's how we came about, and the book. The Gorilla Kings, I believe it was, about how they came and transformed our DNA and turned us into these gold digging slaves. Mm-hmm. And then, we were set free because the Anunnaki were kicked out, and we were left to evolve on our own. So there's that idea.
Right.
There's also the idea that, we ran out of something that they needed, and they said, well, we're going to bug out. We're going to bug out ant people. Sorry. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to go find somewhere else, just let these people kill themselves in, 40,000 years, whatever that is.
Sure.
So, there's a couple ideas, that get thrown around. I really don't know. I think they just got tired of us, maybe whining and fighting and
right.
Take care of yourselves.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
Anu Sinom, Sinom, Anu, A-U-A-N-U, Anu Simone, Sinom, S-I-N-O-M, is the Hopi word for ant friends.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. But it's got ties to the Babylonian sky god that was named Anu.
Anu, okay.
And which is the Hopi word for ant.
Very interesting.
Yes. So yeah, that's my theory. I think we were just left to fend for ourselves by the Anunnaki. Maybe they'll come back, but that, according to some people, is good, and that, according to a lot of people, is bad. So who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to know. I don't know. It's just curious because of all these legends and all these stories of this amazing involvement, and then nothing. Why did they leave? Or did they leave? Or
why have you forsaken us?
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, but it's just like, what is it about this current time that's not lending itself? If this is truly the case, right. I think if they would need to be involved, now's the time.
Right.
Because there's some crap going on down here that's, and granted, crap's been going on ever since people could pick up sticks and, start hitting each other with them.
Exactly.
But, it's certainly our ability to cause widespread damage and problems is greater now than it's ever been. So I think that, the kids are in the playground with the big sticks.
Yeah.
And it's time for the teacher to come back.
The parents to come and grab those sticks and use them as switches.
Yeah.
Whooping some butts.
Yep. That's the rule of thumb right there.
Oh.
You know the rule of thumb is, Don?
Yes.
Yeah, that you couldn't
Can
pick
you
a switch thicker than your own thumb.
Right.
Yep. That was where the rule of thumb comes from.
My grandma had man hands.
And grandma had fingers like 2x4s.
Is Obake here? Obake is here. Hi, Obake.
Oh, hello. Good to see you.
Yes.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Got a lot of other people here. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. It's always wonderful. Crow Creek Cryptids, welcome. Thank you for coming in. But yeah, that's just a few things. Going on in the Paranormal Portal hot plate here on the Paranormal Buffet line. But what do you got, Don?
You know, actually, it's funny because I think my computer is screwed up by this one tab that's been loading for like 2 days.
Okay.
But I was looking because I saved a couple stories. Let's see if I can get to them.
Please.
Save stories on
Please
Facebook.
get to them, Don.
Come on, man. Hurry up.
Help me out.
You're killing me over here. Let's see. Oh, here's something. I hope this is yes. Okay. I don't even know how to pronounce this, but so we're gonna just go wide and go with another line of thinking.
Okay. By all means.
TSIATKO. I don't know. Or stick Indians are these Sasquatch. And this is a story from phantomsandmonsters.com.
Okay.
It was the summer of 1970. I was 23 years old. I had no idea what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So I hooked up with a military buddy of mine, and we set out on a road trip from Chicago, Illinois to Victorville, California. My friend's mom, dad, and sister lived in Marysville, Washington, which is my stomping grounds. So we decided to head there first. It was on the way of sorts. Anyway, after a great trip through the Rockies, we ended up in San Francisco, right in the middle of a flower power explosion.
Uh-huh.
And after much discussion and lots of mind-expanding substances, we decided to resume our trip, air quotes, trip,
Yeah, I'll bet.
to his house, home up north. When we arrived at his parents' home, in Marysville? Okay. When we arrived at his parents' house, I was introduced to his mom and dad, and when his sister came home about 30 minutes later, I was absolutely floored. She was the most gorgeous, whatever. Hopelessly fell in love. Okay, well, we get to the point of the story. Set up a keg. Okay, one of the trucks. Party. Okay. It sounded like they were yelling something like stick Indians. Well, this is at a party. They were yelling stick Indians. Well, my friend and I looked at each other and both said at the same time, "What are stick Indians?" Now we were parked facing the way we came on the road, so we had to look back over our shoulders to see what the heck was going on behind us. People were jumping up in their cars and peeling out down the only other way out, including the guy with the keg of beer in the back of his pickup. Nice. Which went tumbling off as he roared out of there. My friend was tapping me on the shoulder, trying to get my attention, yelling, "Look, man, look." And as I turned around, what I saw sent shivers down my spine like I had never had before. There were about 50 feet down the road was 3 creatures just standing in the middle of the road. One was maybe 3 to 4 feet tall. The other was 5 to 6. And the one on the end had to at least be 7 foot or more. They had what looked like long red hair all over their bodies, except what appeared to be female. One appeared to be female. Her breasts and abdomen were bare, which only became apparent as they moved closer. Their skin pigment was kind of grayish. Well, after the shock wore off, my friend tried to start the car, but as luck would have it, it just cranked and cranked. It finally started. As he turned the car around, I noticed that the big one had something in his hand. It looked like, well, maybe a big stick. Now, if this was just some kind of prank or joke they were pulling on a couple flatlanders, they spared no expense and were the best of actors. Not to mention the costumes were as good as anything Hollywood could put together today, much less in 1970s. Now I know what you're all thinking. These guys were just higher than a kite and hallucinating the whole thing. Well, I admit it, yes, we were more than a little high, but damn it, we knew what we saw. There's more to this story, but I don't have time to go into it. So that is a sighting of what somebody was originally told was stick Indians.
Wow.
But, yet the question was, could it have been because of the tall, 7-foot tall, hairy one with red hair, was that possibly Sasquatch? So that's interesting.
That is.
So
Wow.
yeah, we've talked about stick Indians before and how most what I hear is people believe that they basically are lost tribe of First Nations. I don't mean to be insensitive. Sorry, First Nations that became caught in a storm or had a really rough winter, and they were dying out, and they started to cannibalize each other, and then eat people as they came across them. Ate as opportunists.
Yeah.
What was there is what they ate, and they became really emaciated, really skinny, stick looking, and of course, if you whistle in the dark in the forest, it could attract them, things like that. So really interesting. But if these were stick Indians, I'd have been up and out of there a long time ago. I went to stopped and looked.
Yeah, that's creepy.
So there you have that.
Well, good. Very cool.
And let's see here. There's the Legend of the Hopi Indians, ant people, but I think that's a really long one.
Oh, okay. Well, that should probably be a show. Really, I mean, we should probably dedicate a show to that because it is pretty profound.
Yeah, that would be good for behind have when we have the membership go up, put that in there. They would love that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so Anu Sinom, Sinom. I'm guessing on that, but that's really interesting. I've always loved the story of the ant people, and
it's pretty cool. It's nice that some benevolent force showed up just when it was needed the most.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always good. It was a divine intervention, maybe.
Oh, here it is. 9/24/19. UFO spotted over Ottawa, Illinois, and is shockingly convincing. You haven't seen this one? This is really wild.
I haven't seen what one?
The UFO from Ottawa, Illinois.
I don't believe so.
Let's see if I can find some commentary. This is the video on it. Come on. Oh man, my laptop's just hashed.
Is it?
Yeah, it's slower than honey downhill in February. So now that's just a video. There's really no information on it. Doggone it. That's the one I wanted to see though. I wish I could have. Oh, that's E-Bomb's World. That's why. Okay. All right. So let's go back here. Oh, no, that's a YouTube. Get out of there.
Get out of there. We can't have no more YouTubes. We already got one going, huh?
Kids.
What are you?
Oh, this is kind of funny. It's a short little thing.
Okay.
Oh my God. See, this is okay. Yeah, this is just kind of a funny little thing real quick. It says, alien civilizations block humanity after receiving unsolicited nudes. So,
the proliferation of porn is everywhere, I tell you.
It says, immediately regretting opening a strange message attached to an oblong metallic object marked Pioneer, found floating in space, a distant ancient civilization blocked all of humanity on Thursday, remarking that the unsolicited nudes, especially ones from the inferior bipedal species, were super gross.
That's funny.
Why do they think we want to see all that? Asked Clackthon, using telepathic communications with the trigendered crew of their spaceship, adding that the dangly thing on the between of the one of the figure's lower tentacle makes them want to shed their first 3 inner digestive mucus layers. Like, why? So gross. At least not right away. If I wanted to see it, I'd ask first. Just cold like that? Disgusting, they added. The time at press time said radio observatories reported a very thirsty message from different alien civilizations asking if we could host.
Nice. That's funny. Those darn third tentacles.
Yeah, doggone them.
They don't grow as well as the other two.
There's yeah. Wow.
Sorry, I had to go there, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of a moral imperative.
Oh, it's kind of a disgusting little thing.
It's my show. I wanna.
It's my show, and I'll say it if I wanna. Okay, yeah, I really wish that would open up, but let's see here. This is another one that I found beyond belief. And
Beyond belief, meaning you don't believe it, or is it just a really wild?
it's really wild, and no, I don't believe it.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna go both on those.
Okay, so I don't care.
What is it about?
It is about a woman who claims reptilian aliens use me on the moon every night.
Oh no, we're not gonna read that one.
Well, see,
No,
that's
we're not gonna go that way. That sounds like porn.
it
We're not gonna
sounds
do paraporn
ridiculous,
here.
Paraporn.
Nah, we're
No,
gonna,
you've-
we're
all
gonna
those,
skip
all
that.
those, all those ghostly lover.
You know how many I've skipped? You know how many I have not read? I read about a half or a fragment of what that says.
Let's see here.
And yeah, that's a disorder at this point. So there'll be no paraporn here on the portal, ladies and gentlemen. I got some angel stories.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, let's go let's
All
raise
right,
the
let's
bar
get-
here.
Let's raise the vibration.
Since we've been circling the cosmic drain on paraporn, let's go to
Well,
the.
you know, we are from a twirling galaxy. You know, it's got arms. Looks like it's going down the drain.
Yeah, well, that's true. Like a big cosmic toilet flushing. Yeah. All right, so
boy.
that reminds me, I got to do something else tomorrow. Okay, has to do with my toilet, but never mind.
Oh my goodness.
I've exercised some demons in there. Let me tell you.
Goodness.
All right, so sorry. It's free and cheap and easy. What can I say? So here's one that has to do with an archangel visitation, believed to be Michael, I guess.
Oh.
I was given a new client a Reiki treatment. My hands were focused on her body, as were my eyes, and I felt a presence enter the room.
Mm-hmm.
When I lifted up my head, I saw an angel step through the wall into the room, and he was so very tall, and he had to stoop so as not to bump his head on the ceiling. And my first thought was, this must be the Archangel Michael, because I had been told once that our archangels are really tall. I don't know why I thought it was Michael. I was just sure that it was. I wasn't sure if I should tell my client about the angel visitation, so I just kept quiet. But before the session was over, the woman asked if I ever sensed angels, and I quietly answered, yeah. As I continued to look over at the beautiful being of light that was sending enormous amounts of love and caring into the room. She then told me that she had always felt a strong connection to the Archangel Michael, so I told her that he was in the room.
Oh.
It was an amazing experience. Wow, that's really powerful. Yeah, I suppose, they can show up when they want. That's pretty
during a Reiki.
during a Reiki session. Maybe it was needed. I don't know. Maybe there was some darkness had to be dealt with there. I don't know.
We shall exercise these the name.
Yep. So here's another one, and this one sounds interesting. My baby was in the hospital having a 4-hour surgery, and my estranged husband was not present, and at this time our marriage was crumbling, but even worse, I was afraid for the baby's life. Yeah, who the hell wouldn't show up for that?
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, that guy's a dick. When I arrived in the waiting room, an older lady was sitting there working on a quilt with words from the Serenity prayer on it, and said, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's right, Don. She asked me if the little baby boy is mine, and when I confirmed, she took my hand and said a prayer with me. And I asked who she's making the quilt for, and she replied that God will show her who will need it. Hours later, I was called into the recovery room, and my baby son was fine. When I came outside, the lady gave me the quilt, and she told me that now she knows who she's been making it for. I've kept it in her honor, and my now 5-year-old son is sleeping in his bed covered by it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a wonderful, wonderful story. So yeah, I think people can be angels too, and I know we've done angel shows before, and I've mentioned that, and whether it's the spirit of the angel enters into a person and therefore they become the angel, or if the angel is manifesting itself as a person.
Right.
In either case, I mean, hell, a dog can be an angel.
Right.
It's just these, I don't know, beautiful forces that are just there when they're needed. I think it's great.
I think they just manifest in whatever will give us comfort at the time.
Right. Yeah. I imagine that's probably true. So this one's called, we were talking about Space Force before. This one's called Angel Force. I was headed home to my children driving in the slow lane. The next thing I knew, I was flying in the air in my Ford Windstar. I had no control. When my van landed, it looked like a crane put it there. It was in the ditch perfectly. Had little room to get out. I felt like some force had lifted me up out of the ditch. And I then saw this man who was so calm. He put a calmness in my heart, and I never saw him again. I still can't explain how perfectly my van was in the ditch. Well, that's cool. Yeah, that could be a divine intervention of sorts.
So it was just like it picked up the van and just kind of moved it off into the ditch?
Like maybe she was crashing suddenly and it just grabbed it and set it down or something. I don't know. There's a lot in there that obviously needs interpretation, but
right.
But it's an interesting account nonetheless. I think that stuff is amazing. So this one is having to do with a child. In my home, we are not religious by any means, and one night I was putting my son to bed, and he started telling me that the night before, Jesus brought an angel to him because he was so scared. And he said, she was so beautiful and her wings were so big, they almost touched my walls. He said she sang to him and laid with him until he fell asleep. He then said Jesus came back to get her, and he brought her back to a door with him where they started to sparkle and then went through the door. Never since, my son has been obsessed with Jesus and angels. He prays to an angel often and prays for Jesus to come back. The other day, he was crying because he said he keeps praying, but he doesn't think Jesus can hear him. He said that he keeps praying for him to come back because they make him feel so happy, and I acknowledge what he says, but I don't push it. I just let him talk about it when he needs to. Not sure what I should do. He gets genuinely sad, and he thinks Jesus can't hear him. He's only 4 years old. Wow. That's pretty incredible for a child to have that kind of experience
and be able to
articulate it. Yeah, exactly. So here's one that has to do with healing. When I was really young, maybe 8 or 9 years old, I went to bed one night with a severe earache. I woke my mom several times for comfort, but nothing made it better. I laid in bed with tears in my eyes, and then suddenly the pain stopped. I opened my eyes and saw something like a cloud hovering over me. I was amazed, but more so relieved. I knew what it was. I soon after fell asleep in peace. So it's just this divine healing. That's pretty powerful stuff, Don.
That's awesome.
I hear that happens. That, people report, spontaneous healing, and what an amazing thing. I wish we could do it all the time,
That would, there's been so many hucksters about the laying on of hands and things like that.
Right.
I don't find it miraculous. Something like that would be a little different though, because that's not,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of con people out there. There's a lot of people cashing in on people's willingness or desire to believe in something, and that's unfortunate. But it's kind of human nature to take advantage of something in order to get something,
some kind of benefit from it.
Yep. So it's just the nature of human beings, I guess. My 15-year-old grandson and I were putting up a garage sale signs several blocks down the street. And when I got back in the car to head back home, I looked at Dawson, my grandson. He was looking out straight ahead and asked if he could stay the night. No sooner had he asked the question while driving, in a flash of an eye, I saw a huge white angel wings encompass my windshield. And at that very second, Dawson shouted, Grandma, did you see that? I said, yes, I saw the huge angel wings covering my windshield. He said, no, Grandma, I saw a ball of fire. We were both shocked to have seen two different things. We are strong believers and have experienced many miracles, but who's ready for something like this? No trees fell, no storm. Why were there angel wings in front of me covering my side of the windshield? And a fireball flashed for him, and we can't understand this, but very awesome. I could actually see the inner wing and all its brilliance and feathers. It was huge, and it was gone as fast as it had come. How about that, huh?
I wonder if because of their height difference in the car, that maybe one saw part, one's view was obstructed of the other's view. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's possible. I don't really know.
I've been talking with my hands a lot tonight.
Well, you got a camera, so it helps people understand you. At least somebody will understand you. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank God. Got to wait for thousands of strangers to go, Don, you're okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, we get validation through the interwebs. You guys make me feel validated. Thank you. This one is to do with a nighttime visit. My family and I were going through a terrible experience in 2006. To make a long story short, I had a chair next to my bed. One night while I was sleeping, I woke up looking toward the chair, and there was a little girl dressed in all white with a hat on, and she had a beautiful glow. But all of a sudden, she walked away, and I could not fall back asleep. I was terrified. But to this day, I know that she was an angel watching over me. I don't know that she was an angel. I don't know. Maybe like a cherubim or something. I don't know.
Well, that's an angel.
It is. Yeah, it is. But
I see. It was a question. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just. I think it could just have easily been a ghost, though, especially since the person felt the fear. That's not normally accounted for in these angelic visits. They're usually people are filled with warmth and love, and they feel absolutely safe.
I think it was the hat.
It was the hat.
The hat.
The hat caused fear.
Yes, the hat.
Yeah, the angel should have left the hat home.
Yes.
All right, so I've never told this story, but when I was about 7 years old, I was left at home alone with my nephew, who was 3 at the time, and wow, that's not a good arrangement at all. Putting a 7-year-old in charge of a 3-year-old?
Yeah, that's a dangerous situation.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Well, we were playing in the back room when something scared us, and I don't remember what I saw or heard, but I knew I had to get out of that house or we were going to die. I clutched my nephew tightly, and both of us screaming and crying, and ran toward the front door, and just before reaching the exit, I saw a tiny ball of glowing white light hovering just above our front door. I stopped dead in my tracks, and I could not take my eyes off that ball. And suddenly it started getting bigger and bigger, and eventually we were totally engulfed in the light. The next memory I have was floating inside of this light, and it was the purest, most beautiful, soft light ever. And I was transfixed by it. I felt so good, and I can still feel it when I think about that day inside the light. There was no sense of fear or pain or worry, and somehow I knew everything was okay, and we were going to be fine. But what the hell did they have to get out of the house for? That seems to be a pretty important part of the story. Why did they suddenly become absolutely terrifying? No, they had to leave or they were going to die.
Yeah, and nothing happens.
Right. So they either cut out that part of the narrative or the person never told that part of the narrative. But that's kind of important because is it an irrational fear?
Right.
Or was there actually something they should have been afraid of? I don't know, but wow. I don't know. That story's perplexing me. Oh, I'm not reading this one. It talks about orbs and photographs. I ain't going there. I ain't a big fan of it personally.
Sasquatch Chronicles says, I'm pretty sure I met an angel. He was a homeless guy I bought food for, sat down to eat with. Gosh darn it. And he knew my name. I never told him my name. He said some things about God. It was strange. Maybe just a homeless and psychic. It was weird.
Wow. That's really cool.
You've had these psychic encounters before, but you get weirded out when you talk to our friend Deb.
So, I had an experience very similar to that, Wes. I used to be a security guard in downtown Minneapolis in a really bad neighborhood, and during the course of working there, we were told that we had to make sure the homeless people were not allowed to be in the building, and it was a cold February.
I remember you telling the
and
story. Yeah.
and it was absolutely freezing. It was below zero in the dead of winter, and I was doing my rounds at this low income housing unit, and I walk into the entryway on one side of the building, and there's this guy, and honest to God, he looked like Santa Claus, except a really dirty, beat up, haggard looking Santa Claus, and he had like a sweater on, pants, and socks. The man had no shoes. And it was below zero, and this was absolutely horrible. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm 18 years old at the time, and I'm in this conundrum because I'm trying to do a good job and do my job, but then, at the same time, I don't know how I can live with myself if I kick this guy back out into that freezing cold with nowhere to go, nowhere to get warm. So I just decided, I talked to him, I said, here's what you got to do. I'm going to let you stay here for as long as you want, but if somebody comes, I have to act like I'm kicking you out. So if I have to kick you out, walk around the corner, wait, and when it's clear, I'll let you know and you can come back. And so he agreed, and we did this cat and mouse game for that whole night. And then in the morning, he was going to, leave, and left. And he ended up coming back over a period of about a month, coming in to stay warm and talking to me. And this guy he was amazing. He would take me out, and when the warmer nights, somebody gave him shoes that lived in that building, and we all kind of pooled our resources and got him warm clothes to wear. And we took him outside, and he started talking about the stars, and he told me about all these stars and constellations and all their stories. It was just amazing. And then after about a month of time that he was around, he came up to me one night at about 3 a.m. He said, well, it's been great knowing you, Brent. Thank you so much. And I got to go now. I'm like, oh, where are you going to go? He said, I just got to leave, but I just wanted to thank you for taking care of me. Oh. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you. And it's been nice knowing you, and et cetera. And it was kind of a hazy morning. And he was walking down the sidewalk, and he walked about maybe 50 yards. And this is a straight shot down the sidewalk. I mean, there's side streets and stuff. But he was walking straight down, and I was watching him walk away. I'm feeling kind of sad because I had grown attached to him. And suddenly a loud noise happened I was watching him go to the right, and a loud noise happened. I snapped my attention this way to see what it was. I couldn't see anything. Looked back, and he was gone. He was absolutely gone. And I don't know, I always just assumed the same thing, Wes, that it was like I met an angel. I don't know. It was a wild story, but true story. Just a really crazy experience. But that's kind of neat. That's it's kind of the same thing, at least similar. But what do you do? What?
I was just thinking, I've met some people that told me they were angels. I told you, I mentioned this on the podcast the other day. It's
Thank you, Ken.
I'm kind of jealous of your experiences and things like this, so it really kind of sucks. Well,
I don't, honestly, it was a moral dilemma, and I just decided that I was going to help this guy any way I could. And honestly, there wasn't anything special about it until that moment that he disappeared. And that's when all of a sudden it became absolutely special. It's like, wait a minute.
Hold up. Something's kind of wacky here.
It was just a little off, and I was like, oh no, wait a minute. And then your head races because you're playing back everything.
Right.
And I don't know, I just assumed maybe he was an angel. Maybe it was just one of those things. They say that sometimes we're tested, and whether that's true or not, it's up to you to come to your own paradigm with that. But it was my story. It's really a true story. It happened. So I don't know. Hopefully I did well. So, all right. So this one just sounds like a ghostly one. I'm going to skip that one. Beautiful bright light. I've never experienced anything like this, but it was an amazing experience. Every night I will say a prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Guard me, Jesus, through the night, and wake me in the morning light. It actually happened to me when I woke up out of nowhere. I saw a beautiful bright light filled up the room. I thought maybe somebody turned on the light, but I remembered the light in my room is actually very dim. Then I thought about my window, and I keep the blinds closed all the time. And I soon went back to sleep with a great feeling and sense of security. That's beautiful. That's wonderful.
Is it bad that when you started reading that, I thought about Metallica? Can't help it.
You never know. Now I lay me down to sleep. Now I lay me down to sleep.
Hey, we lost the thumbs down.
We did. Somebody changed their mind. They thumbed up us. Yes, we are we are converting souls here on the portal, ladies and gentlemen. Can I have a witness?
Can I have a witness say hallelujah?
And I said to the Lord, please, God, lift up that oppression. Remove that oppressive mark from my page, that I might shine in your glory and portray the love and magic of the paranormal to all who will come and bear witness.
Wow.
So that's
wow.
It might have happened.
Wow.
I might have missed my calling.
Wow. That was wow.
All right, so Morning Sun Angel. Yeah, this is different. It started with me seeing a figure at the end of my bed, and I also kept seeing purple, green, and white balls of light in my room at night. One night I had just laid down, and suddenly I was outside staring at this woman who had long black hair. Her wings covered the whole of the sky. She was massive. I asked her what she wanted, shouting at her. She smiled and she told me that she was an angel of the morning sun. She flapped her wings 3 times and my body went all funny and I was back in my room. I could see myself lying in bed and I was on my ceiling. I straight away researched an angel of the morning sun and found sculptures of her and pictures. It was 1,000% the same angel. I'm still all freaked out to this day, as I had never before heard of her and also didn't believe in this type of thing. Well, that's really cool. This one's really short. It says, I was sitting in the garden with my 7-year-old son, and suddenly I could see out of the corner of my eye a very bright light. I looked to the left and down, and the bright light was on an ornamented angel in the flower bed, and then suddenly the light disappeared. I've looked on the internet, and it says I was visited by my guardian angel. Because the internet said so.
Yeah.
That's why you always got to trust that internet. Google it.
You know, it's so hard to do that though. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, you get online to find the answer to pretty much anything. You know, we literally have the world at our fingertips. We just have to know how to navigate through the garbage and find the substance. But you know, whatever that person was looking for, they got an answer in whatever it was. Their belief, cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I was 4 years old and in my brother's room crying. And this is when I heard a sweet voice calling me. I looked up towards the footboard and saw a woman with a long hair lying on her with her long hair lying on her right shoulder. She had on a white flowing cloth and light blue trimming surrounded by a white mist. Her arms were extended out with her palms facing upward as if she wanted to embrace me. She whispered to me, "Come with me, I love you," in Spanish. I kept looking at her, and when I heard the bedroom door open, I screamed as I saw my mother walk into the room, and she ran to the bed and lifted me into her arms and ran out of the room. She sat down and started praying over me and kept pouring a sweet fragrance on my head. I was not afraid of the lady, but I don't know what happened between the time the door was opening and when I started screaming. We moved out several months later. However, to this day, I know I have someone watching over me and protecting me. Very interesting. So I guess they feel that was a evil apparition trying to draw her soul away or something. I don't know. And then the mom came in just at the perfect time. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the mom was, given some kind of compulsion to go in at that time.
Right. Yeah,
So, yeah.
very true. So this is, all right, let's see. I prayed that God would show me an angel, and he did. Twice many years after I prayed for this, and both encounters happening when I was sleeping. I suppose angels will come to visit us on occasion when we would be most relaxed or receptive to their visitations. The first encounter I had was a dream state, walking along a dark path at night. Then suddenly the entire environment setting lit up with incredible pure bright light, as if the sun itself was shining on me. Suddenly I woke up, but no one was in the dark bedroom that I could see, so I asked in bewilderment, "What is it?" As if someone was speaking to, as if it was someone I was speaking to. No voice or words came forth, but the angel conveyed thoughts and pictures to my mind telepathically, showing me that I left the side door of the garage open with a picture in my mind, and I was reminded to close the door and to lock it. So I thanked an angel, got out of bed, and sure enough, the door was wide open. So I wonder if someone would have ended up coming in and causing problems if that door hadn't been shut.
Right.
Yep. Preemptive strike there, I think. This was when I was at work. I encountered a very intense red light, which shines for about 4 seconds and then disappears. When I've seen this light, I've asked others present if they could see it, but they all say no. Well, I wonder if I was seeing things, so I don't always say something when it happens. But a couple of weeks ago, it appeared, and one of the people with me saw it in the building where I work. It is impossible for this light to shine in the shape to shine in. Sorry, I just screwed that all up. I saw it again, but no one else has. That's really interesting. Oh, here, this one might be creepy. When I was 20 years old, I was almost 9 months pregnant, and I was sitting on my bed, wide awake. A vision of the best way I can explain it, a bright light came into my room. The vision, as best I can say, was like a man, but his facial features were lion-like and seemed to have a bright light shining through. I don't know how else to explain it, and I wish I could draw it, but I'm not artistic, and I'm 42 years old now, and this has haunted me to this day. That night, my baby died due to the umbilical cord. An angel took him. I have no doubt at all. Wow. Oh, that's so sad. Wow. Yeah, that's tragic. Okay. Next one. When I was younger, I was going through a lot of things that a young 16-year-old girl should never have to endure. You can't try to imagine. My mother and I were arguing a lot, and she was very angry because she was going through things of her own. She took it out on my little brother and me, and I went to sleep one night after crying and praying to God, and I prayed for hours until I drifted off to sleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night to a bright light in my doorway. It was so bright that I had to squint my eyes to look at this beautiful light. Then a very tall, what appeared to be a man, walked out of the light to the edge of my bed and kneeled down over me, and he spoke my name and put his hand on my arm and started to whisper something in my ear. I couldn't understand what he was trying to tell me because as soon as he touched my arm, I started feeling really tired and I fell back to sleep. He made me feel so much comfort, and I still think of my angel until this day. I guess that was a good visit at the right time. That person really needed it.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it's awesome when it does, because I guess it's nice to know that somebody's paying attention, you know?
Right.
I wish that kind of stuff happened more, but at least it's nice to hear that some people get those perfect signs right when they need them the most. Maybe it helps them to carry on. Maybe it helps them not to give up. Maybe it's, any number of things, but I guess it's just beautiful. So not long ago, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 bladder cancer and was not given much hope for survival past Christmas season. Although the odds were devastatingly against him, he chose to go through a round of chemo to take some comfort in the idea that he tried everything he could to be cured. Although God had other plans, and I take comfort in my faith that he will be taken care of by Christ and the angels themselves. I was up in the wee hours in the morning after not being able to sleep in my unending thoughts and prayers, and I stood in my driveway in the moonlight and meditated with chills indicating the presence of the Holy Spirit. As I prayed, my cat kept clawing and biting my ankles and then telepathically said, "Jesus, can you please stop this annoying cat from biting my ankles while I'm trying to talk to you?" At that very second, the cat refrained and sat up in a calm state, although he still followed me as I strolled about the driveway. Coincidence? I don't know if that's that your cat quit chewing on your ankles, so it must be a sign from God. I don't know.
Yeah.
That one might be a little stretch. I mean, I think it's probably really comforting to think that, and maybe it is, but that one is not what I was expecting at all. My cat quit biting me, so I knew Jesus was there. It's like, well, I'm sure Jesus was there, but
A lot of people do call them evil little things, but
oh, they're beautiful little fluffy.
Didn't you post something about cats protect you from ghosts and things like that?
I did. Yeah. Yep. I did. They can maybe. I don't know. It's a long old belief that that's the case anyway. That cats are wards against negative energies and spirits. I don't know.
And some people believe that they can drag you to hell screaming and crying the entire way.
Okay, Captain Sunshine. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for just bringing that darkness right in here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to this one. In 1974, while stationed in Pearl Harbor, someone I had been drinking with spiked my wine with LSD. He did so with several others, and we all went back to the base barracks. And some of the guys were going crazy, and I prayed for help. A sailor opened his door and asked what I was doing, what was wrong, and I told him, and he asked me to get everyone and bring them to his room. I did, and he asked if we believed in God, and we all shared our experiences about God, and that is when I noticed I was sober. It was way too soon for the LSD to wear off. It can be an 18-hour experience. It had only been a few hours since our drinks had been spiked. The next day I went to the room to thank the guy, and when I got to the room, no one had been in that room for several months. It was in communications, and there had been no ship movements, no one. But the guys who had their drinks spiked remember the man, and it's been a mystery for nearly 40 years. There can be only one explanation. That sailor was either a ghost or an angel because of how he spoke of God. I believe he was an angel. And we have a call.
A call on the line.
We have a call. All right, let's get to our call. And this is Mr. MCAT. Mike, how you doing, brother?
Hello?
Hello. How are you?
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
MCAT? You
MCAT.
catch us?
Guys, are you guys saying anything? I can't hear anything you're saying. I'm going to hang up and try again.
No. It's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's me. He's going to try again, too. Let me disconnect this and reconnect it.
Yeah, hold on, MCAT. Hold on. We're going to try something. It didn't work last week, though. This isn't the first time.
All right, let's do it again. No, it's been doing this every once in a while. I keep saying I'm going to test it before the shows, and I never do. So we should be connected now. Let's do this.
Did you check your video?
What?
Your video settings?
No, I didn't. But it usually works if I disconnect and reconnect it. MCAT, if you'll try to call in again, I would appreciate it.
Oh, there he is.
Is he? Okay, let me just look at this quick before I even try. Yeah, it's showing up. Yeah. So for some reason it doesn't like to do it there, but let's see if this works. MCAT, are you there, brother? Hello?
Hey, what's going on? I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's my end. There's something really funky happening. I'm not really sure what it is, but Skype keeps dropping my microphone, and I have to reconnect, and then it finds it. So I don't know, something flaky.
Wow.
But welcome to the show.
Bizarre.
Yeah,
That's bizarre.
it's the portal. What do you expect? We are the land of bizarre.
Yeah, that's true.
So what's on your mind tonight, brother?
Hey, what's going on, pal? You've got these stories that reminded me of an old case that we had with the team.
Oh, cool. By all means.
This is before this was before that I began with the team, but something that they talked about, kind of something to look out in a client. So they had a client that was proclaimed to be very religious. Not that there's anything wrong with that,
Sure.
right? This is America. I don't care. You can believe in the flying spaghetti monster. It doesn't bother me one bit. Go ahead. So anyway, he's claiming he's being bothered by spirits at night, and he's desperate and he wants some help. So the team, sure, no problem. They go over and help, take a look at him. And in his room, he's got pictures of Christ and crucifixions all over his bedroom. Nowhere else in the house, but right in his bedroom.
Okay.
And he has a bell on his bed, and he says, well, they'll come in and they'll ring the bell. And we're like, oh, okay, well, this is easy. We're going to set up some cameras in here and maybe have a person sit in here while you're sleeping, and sure, no problem. Oh, no, you can't set up any cameras, and nobody can be in here. I have to be in here by myself or they won't come in.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, sure enough, every time he closed the door, the bell would ring, and he's like, oh, my God, they're in here. Come in, quick.
Of course, yeah.
Open the door, nothing.
Sure.
And it was like, I'm not so sure this is something that's spirits.
Yeah.
Seems like might be something else going on here.
Sure. And?
Oh, it's one of the things that you run into when you're dealing with people in their homes.
So really it turned out that this person was just ringing the bell and trying to get, their bell rung. So, that's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, probably looking for attention. I would probably assume.
That's pretty crazy, and that's unfortunate, actually. It's unfortunate that person wasted so much of your time on something like that anyway, but yeah. So
it's one of those things that it does happen. It's not common, but it does happen every once in a while where it's somebody's just making it up.
Right.
And they maybe they don't work, or they don't interact with a lot of people, and they just want someone to come over and be there with them. That kind of thing.
Kind of. It's sad though, isn't it? I mean, really, it's actually a pretty tragic thing when you think about it that way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Huh. Wow. Did you get that a lot when you guys were investigating a lot, or not very much? No. Okay.
It's not very much. It's not common, but it does happen. We had another person that was, this was a husband and wife, and the wife was faking evidence.
Oh.
And the way that she would fake evidence is she would throw a lighter across the room, and she was pretty good. She could hit you with a lighter from about 10 feet, and you could look right at her and not see it coming until it flies past your head.
Wow.
Like, she had developed a technique to bend that thing around and have it sail right by your face, and you wouldn't see her throwing it. I mean, it was really, really tricky how she got it, but we caught her because we set up a camera that we didn't tell her about, so kind of a secret cam. And you see her walk in the room with her husband, phone rings, husband picks it up, hands it to her, picks it up with her right hand, switches it to her left hand, puts her right hand in her pocket, takes out a lighter, choom, right past an investigator's head.
Oh man, that's got to be just really disappointing. How did you broach that then with her? Did you just say, look, we caught this? How do you explain this? Or what do you do then?
Yeah, we basically had to confront her at that point. It was just, did you catch any evidence? Oh, we sure did. Here, why don't you look at this? And then she would just, no, that's not me. I'm not throwing that.
Oh no.
Are you sure? I could probably frame by frame is coming from you. And she would just deny, no, I'm not throwing it. It was like, well, we're just going to leave.
Oh, that's too bad. I guess there are those kind of people, though. There seems to be a subset of people that are absolutely fanatical about the discussion, about the idea of this stuff, but they want so bad to have experiences that they will fake their own experiences.
Right.
Just because I think they think it makes them feel, I don't know, special. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I would agree that there's something special about that, and I would agree that does happen. I don't think it's common, but I think that it does happen from time to time.
Sure. Yeah. And I see that same kind of thing in a lot of different fields of the paranormal. And it's funny because the people that actually do have experiences generally don't want them, but these people that do this kind of thing seem like they desperately want them so much that they're willing to do whatever it takes to have the appearance of those things.
Yeah, I think that's true. That transfers to different fields, whether it be UFOs or cryptozoology or
Absolutely.
I think there's that kind of attitude can transfer. Just that need for attention.
Right. No, I hear you. So are you doing any more investigating soon, or what's going on?
Yeah, when I go home, which will be the 19th, I'm going to see if I can. I know the people that own that cemetery that I want to investigate, so I'm going to go talk to them and see if I can get in there.
Nice.
And then if I can, I'm going to try and put a video together for Halloween.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. We're gonna probably do a Halloween special of the portal. So if you have it ready and you want to share it with us on the show, we'd be happy to show it as part of our Halloween portal-thon.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, very cool. Well,
that would be awesome.
Keep me posted, brother. I'll be happy to put it up and make it a part of our portal-thon. I'm not sure how long the portal-thon's going to be, but I'm gonna go for as long as I possibly can. And Don's gonna be part of it with me, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but
see where we end up.
Yeah, I don't even know, but we're just gonna see how far the portal-thon can last.
Cool. Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
I hope so. Either that or be a big train wreck. That's a really long train wreck, but we'll find out.
Wow, that was a really great show. Demonetized.
Yeah, that'd be about right. So, but it's always great to hear from you, brother. Thank you so much for calling in and being a part of the show.
Yeah, you got it, man. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, we'll talk to you then. See you, bud.
See you.
Tales from the Trails.
Tales from the Trails with Mr. Mike Hetzel, otherwise known as MCAT, here in the thing. Oh, Cha-Cha says, okay, so I'm driving, and in the middle of the street is some dude trying to fly a busted little kite. No joke, in the middle of a four-way street, running. Just drive away. Drive away from that. Stay way wide of that one, Cha-Cha. That's creepy as hell.
It's like seeing a clown standing on the corner with a bunch of balloons.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it.
Don't let them make balloon animals for you. Here's a noose.
I would have never ever thought of that.
Yeah, well, there you go. So
crazy.
But yeah, that's a creepy kind of thing. But you just never know what you're going to see out there, ladies and gentlemen. There's always something wrong out there.
Yeah.
There's always something broken out there. That's all I can say. What?
Cam says, ha, Cha-Cha. Listen to Brent, run away.
Yeah, exactly. Leave, drive fast. Drive very fast. Not over it though. Don't hit it.
I was just gonna say. I was like, I wonder what would happen if you splatted him.
Yeah, exactly. Do not hit the kite flying dude. He's obviously got enough issues.
Oh wow.
As long as you're safe, that's what's important.
Oh goodness, I don't think anybody's safe around clowns and apparently weird people flying broken kites in the middle of the road.
Well, that's a whole different kind of clown, though, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah. Just adjust your definition a little bit.
My father passed away on February 1st, 2012. Soon afterwards, I had a dream that my father was waiting for me, but the closer I came to him, the further he moved away. He was standing at the top of a flight of stairs, which was very high, and I just couldn't get to him. It was as if he was watching over me, and then a few nights ago, he appeared as an angel to my mom's neighbor who was sleeping in mom's bed. He just stood there and then disappeared. And after she told him my mom is being taken care of by me and she is fine, I miss him so much. Yeah, that's tough, losing those family members. That's a sad, sad thing. Here's one. Moonville, Ohio. Again, Ohio. Go figure, right, Don?
Yeah.
Oh, Moonville, Ohio is an old town that was overtaken by a plague. Almost everyone died, and all that was left of the town is a tunnel. And we went through the tunnel, and 3 of my grandsons climbed the hill to the top, and there was a thin beam of light that looked like a sword, and it was right in front of us. I couldn't see when I looked up to take a picture. The light was so bright, I took the picture anyway. Well, when we got to our cabin, I looked at the picture, and there was a bubble in the middle of the thin beam of light, and it was right in front of my grandson, Jordan. Jordan lost his father at 9 months old. He was killed by a train. When I blew up the picture, there were angels as plain as day looking right at Jordan. My 5-year-old granddaughter, Mason, said, "I told you, Mommy, I saw an angel." I have the picture of the angels in the bubble, and I want to share with the world what a blessing we saw at Moonville that day. But there's no picture, so I can't share it with you guys, but that's a beautiful thought. My angel spoke to me once and told me his name. It happened when I came back from shopping. My mom had told me to ask who my angel was, and I was barely forming the question when he told me one name, Gabriel. Afterwards, I could feel him standing near me in a soft light with golden swirls. Well, that's great. If you get an archangel as your guardian angel, you either have a lot of problems or you just got really lucky on that straw draw. Picking straws on that deal.
In my case, it'd be the angels like, oh gosh, I got the short straw.
Don's got the one with diapers and a bow and arrow.
If he moves, I'm going to shoot him.
Oh, that's funny. Digital age. Well, I had 2 angels. One when I was 10, and I heard someone whisper my name, but no one was there. See, now that just sounds like a haunting to me. My angel communicates with me by using digits on the clock. Oh, angel numbers maybe, huh?
Oh.
Last night I was on my iPod and I randomly felt someone lightly squeeze or touch my arm. I was confused at first and then I started looking around, but no one was there, so I looked at the time and it was 2:23. I just missed 2:22. One of the times when they let me know that they're there, and I was amazed. Now I see that kind of stuff all the time. 333, 444, 555, 111, 222, and even 1111, 1212. And I always figure there's something significant about that. Not because, it's that amazing just to see it, but it's the number of times that I catch it. Just randomly looking up at the clock and it's 333, and then randomly looking up the clock later on and it's 444 and 555, and I haven't seen 666 yet, which is good.
Not on
Thank
a
you
clock,
very
you're
much.
not going to.
Thank you very much. See what I did there, Don?
Oh, yeah, you went beyond.
I went all the way to weird in one smooth motion. So I can go to 0 to stupid in no time.
That makes 2 of us.
Yeah. So
You didn't have to agree.
well, that's true, Don. I'm there with you though. So I had a difficult 2 years full of losses, sadness, and major changes. I was recently diagnosed with depression, and I had some very strange experiences and some moments of just pure bliss. One day I was sitting at the bus stop, and something that I couldn't see sat next to me. Something so beautiful that I felt pleasure and tingling all along that side. A very spiritual friend said it was evil, but I didn't feel it as evil. I think it was an angel that wanted to guide me. It has done just that through a chance encounter with a friend of a friend who has set me on the right path to healing all of my hurt and resolving my depression and so much more. This friend of a friend is like an angel here on earth for me. There you go. I believe that angels can take many forms. They don't have to be these ethereal winged beings all the time. But then again, spirits can appear or not appear.
Right.
They can appear as solid as anybody that you might meet on the street, and then they can be these little balls of light. So I don't understand. Doesn't surprise me that angels could make many different appearances as well.
Right. Yeah. And we were talking about earlier the gal in the hospital and the child who was having the 4-hour surgery. Being an angel, manifest angel. And the different different manifestations that they take. But, think about, how much energy they must have and them being able to do whatever they want. If they want to manifest in a body or manifest as a vision, they can do whatever they want. They have that power. They've been, according to, what we read and we understand, they have those powers. So really it's not surprising that, that they appear when they want, how they want, or make you, or help you see what you need to see, wherever that is. So
absolutely, I think that you're absolutely right, and I think we are out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it, Don?
So just to answer a quick question before we go, I made the statement that I was going to close chat now because they're a bunch of weirdos. It's because somebody said something about wanting to see me in a diaper.
Oh God!
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Don on this. That's not something that I ever want in my memories.
No.
I love Don dearly, but
not that nearly.
No, I'm not capable of that kind of love, Don.
Oh my goodness! Too bad, Daniela. Sorry, we're getting ready to close up.
Oh, Daniela just made it.
Yeah, she just made it in.
Hey, good to see you. Sorry that the show is now over, though. But I hope you all had a great night. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. It's been a great night. Great crowd of friends and loved ones surrounding us. Just like a bunch of angels, you guys show up every show.
I know.
You guys are the light in my life.
You complete us.
You are the warmth in my heart.
Oh, my God. And the bromance continues. Yes, thanks, Jeff.
I was talking about the chat, the people in chat. That wasn't aimed at anyone in particular.
Yeah, okay.
But I love you all.
Wow, I'm tired.
Anything, Don?
Nothing. teespring.com/stores/paranormal-portal for all the paranormal portal gear you could ever need. And the podcast, whatever that is. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm like checking out here.
Hello. Hello in there, Don.
Hello. Are you there?
Hey, Morty, wake up, huh?
No. You're Morty. I'm Sid, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Morty, what the hell are you doing?
Why don't you just quit bugging me, huh? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up our exploration of the paranormal portal for the evening. I hope you've enjoyed this journey, but we will be back. I will be back, I guess, tomorrow for some bedtime stories. And then remember, Deb joins us on Friday for some psychic readings. So I hope you guys will come and take part of that. 7 p.m. Pacific time, 7 days a week. There is a portal going on right here on our YouTube channel. So we love it when you guys are here to take part and be a part of the party that is the portal. Portal party.
The portal party.
Portal party. And without further ado, I just have to say, what happened?
Nothing.
Okay. Don's losing it, ladies and gentlemen. Better get him back home. Thank you guys. Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Did you just blow a kiss?
Yes.
Oh.
I think I'm weirding him out tonight.
You're weirding me out. I'm sitting right next to you.
That's what I said.
Be good to each other. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. Love you guys. Have a great night, and we'll be back before you know it.
Bye.
I'll be here waiting for you.
Yep.
Good night.
Bye.